inspiration and inspirational texts in short. So, if in the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu writes, the Tao that one can speak of is not the true Tao. Or in another part, those who know remain in silence, and those who don't speak. Or like 2 millennia later, more than 2 millennia later, Wittgenstein writes that which one cannot speak of shall be remained in silence. But then anyway, both write those texts, and Zhangsa, for example, writes then, a path is made by walking it. Why do those sages and philosophers actually write text about something that they genuinely tell us that you cannot speak of? It's obviously not because they have the ambition to actually describe something precisely that they cannot, because that's full errands and they know it, but to leave a trace which should inspire. So the purpose of the trace is not to tell people what to do and how to do it, but rather to inspire them to search for themselves. And I recall I was once invited many years ago back into opening of a temple based on ancient Egyptian ritual, very interesting, with like pointing a point in the middle of nowhere and then using just ropes and sticks to outline the foundation and getting into complex geometrical perspectives. Really interesting experience. And it was quite far away, and I spent the way there with my friend who was a historian, and we had like 9 or 12 hours in a train, so we talked a lot, and we came to this sort of discussion of why there is no like description, no reliable, right? You have many sort of gurus that will tell you, you need to do this and you need to do that and sit 12 hours in zazen or pray for 12 hours for this and that. But ultimately, that's getting sort of nowhere, by my opinion. The mystical experience is something that happens. It's not something for which you have a recipe. And like I said, I will make a special video about it. But my friend had a really great argument about it. I had to laugh. We've been in the train and he was like telling me, if there would be an actual recipe for enlightenment, it would be already traded on the Wall Street. Thinking about it, that was the best argument to say why there is no method for sure. But that goes to the reason why the texts are written about something that you cannot speak of, because the ambition is not to tell people what to do and how to do it, but to let them know that there is an attainable experience that transcends them into experiencing the universe as one. And yeah, sure, everybody can do what he wants. Some people can pursue it, some people don't. That's okay. Some people can pursue it through religion, some people can pursue it through sort of secular meditation. It's a personal way. Everybody's business. But why they write it is to leave a trace of inspiration. And inspiration, contrary to a recipe, it has something very special. If you read an inspirational text, especially an inspired text, it does something too. I would say it's like resonating with you, within you. Right? You read it. Usually it's not very long because you need more paradoxical or poetic language than pages of description. You just write sentence, 2 sentences, and now you read it, and it was written like 2 millennia. Wow! And it is. Right? You feel that the person wrote it from a place or space that is close to you, being so far, but it's sort of something like beyond the horizon, but very close. If that makes any sense. No, it makes not, but that doesn't matter, because this goes beyond logic, this goes beyond language. This is something primordial. And I think that's the reason why those sages wrote those texts, although they knew that any attempt of description will be false, and as such can be deconstructed by anybody. So you can, if you want to, you can basically destroy it. But then you're missing the point. This is not a logical argument. This is a trace in history that you can come up to when you read it. By chance, you can, be in a coffee, you can pop up, you can be in a library and you see a book, you open it and now you see a page. Wow, yeah, that's interesting. It resonates. And the inspiration has this additional sort of notion that it drives you forward. Now you can become a restless soul in search because, we read something that reminded you of something that you feel is long time forgotten, like really beyond the horizon, and it brings you forward, it drives you to search. And if you're not attached to the search itself, so that means you don't get frustrated by not finding, it can be something beautiful. And I think that might be the purpose why people leave these inspirational texts behind. Not for themselves, because obviously they write it from a space where they see things from a very, very different perspective. But as a gift for the future, a gift to other beings. They may come up to this, they may see the lighthouse in the horizon, they may read it, and it may bring them to their own path. Because ultimately I think that's where it leads. And that's why it's in so many sages across all cultures, religions and history. And it's about finding one's own way. And as a beacon of this, let's find our own way, there are these inspirational texts.